We're going to take a look at the difference between the nervous and endocrine systems in long-distance communication. So both the nervous system and endocrine system will communicate to maintain homeostasis, but there are some differences in how they communicate. So neurons will communicate with nearby cells by secreting neurotransmitters into the synaptic cleft. But endocrine cells will communicate with more distant cells by secreting hormones into the bloodstream. So on the left, we've got a neuron that is secreting some neurotransmitter into this synaptic cleft. And you can see that the neurotransmitters don't have to diffuse very far to bind to receptors on the target cell, whether this is another neuron that it's talking to, or maybe it's a muscle cell or a gland. And then with the endocrine cell over here secreting hormones into the blood will take the hormones to target cells that can be quite a distance away from those endocrine cells. So both the nervous system and endocrine system will respond to changes in the environment to help maintain homeostasis and also make sure that you stay safe. So let's just take a look at how they respond to a change. So let's say that you're going to cross the street and a car almost hits you. So let's take a look at how the nervous system would respond to that. So neurons are going to fire and they're going to tell your skeletal muscle cells to contract so you can jump out of the way. So would they have a slow or quick response time? So your muscles are going to respond very quickly, which would be good. So you can jump out of the way of the car fast. And then it's going to have short-lived effects because you'll jump out of the way, your muscles will contract, you'll jump out of the way, and then your muscles stop contracting. You're not going to keep jumping, down the sidewalk for, 5 minutes. So it'll have a short-lived effect. And then the effects will be localized because your nervous system is just going to communicate to those skeletal muscles that you need to contract to, move your body out of the way. So maybe just your leg muscles to jump out of the way. But the endocrine system is going to have a different response to the car coming at you. So it's going to tell the adrenal glands to secrete the hormone epinephrine, or also called adrenaline, in response to that to help you deal with this car coming at you. So the epinephrine will be released into the blood and then will travel to different target cells throughout the body. So having to travel through the blood to different target cells, the epinephrine is going to have a little bit slower response time as compared to the nervous system. And then the effects of the epinephrine are going to be longer lasting compared to the effects from the nervous system. And we all know that because, if the car almost hit you and the epinephrine will actually make your heart race, your heart's going to take a while to slow back down to normal. So that might take a few minutes before that goes back down. So you'll have longer lasting effects from the endocrine system than you would from the nervous system. And then the effects from the hormones being released into the blood are going to be much more widespread because they're going to go all over the body and go to target cells located lots of different places. And that's going to be different from the nervous system, which will usually be more localized effects. And then this is just a nice table from your book that compares the nervous system and the endocrine system and how they communicate. So this would be really good to study, to know the differences between these two and how they communicate.